All right, these are the videos I do when I'm riled up, and right now I'm riled up, so I'm gonna do one. Okay, so I think it's actually pretty simple to predict when the pandemic should be over in this country, the United States, and I think that date is less than 5 months from now, in September 2021, sometime in September, less than 5 months from now. The numbers are in, the evidence is in. We have what we need to make relatively easy predictions, I think. Okay, so 84 million, which I think is about 84 million people fully vaccinated. Of that, 6,000 people tested positive for COVID. So a number of them were asymptomatic, so it was a very extremely minor case. Because out of the 84 million, less than 400 were hospitalized, 394, and 74 deaths. So 6,000 out of 84 million, I think that breaks down to 1 in 14,000. But the very and most important thing, the only thing that really matters, less than 400 people out of 84 million were hospitalized. That's out of people that were fully vaccinated. And this is what really ticks me off, is with the CDC messaging, it's very weak. It's weak. The language is weak. And we need strong language because we want to get to herd immunity, which is debatable, but my understanding is it's around 75%. The only way we're going to get to that number is to instill confidence based on evidence, and we have that right now. So I'm sick and tired of reading articles and hearing language from people saying, we may get back to normal, we may get off masks, we may this, we may that. That's not good. That's not good. That's not inspiring confidence. That's not going to get people that are on the fence about the vaccine to go get the vaccine. And we don't need to use language like that because the numbers are in. The numbers are in. Less than 400 people hospitalized out of 84 million that have been fully vaccinated. So it's black and white at this point. We know the answer. We need to be saying, because it's true, we will be back to normal by September. We will be back to normal by September. Fuck masks. Fuck all that. Fuck telling people what to do because the numbers are in. All right? We're back to normal by September if we do what we need to do with the pace of the vaccine. Okay. So right now, we're about 27% of the U.S. population vaccinated. If we get to like 250 million, that's going to be about 75% of the herd immunity number. And to get there, I think it'll probably take about 5 months from now. So again, I'm saying in September 21, game, set, match, pandemic over. Okay, there is something that needs to be addressed though, and I don't think it's going to affect this country, but it really makes me angry, and it's from a global perspective, because after all, it is a global pandemic. We still have a number of countries that are not suspending the patent protection, meaning that a lot of poor countries aren't getting the rights to use this vaccine that we're using and scale production on their own. In layman's terms, someone a lot smarter than me can understand that further, can explain that further. But this really ticks me off because I hear when Jonas Salk, the guy who invented the polio vaccine, what he said was, you don't patent the sun. And exactly, this really ticks me off because I hate how we have so many people that are just extremely greedy that don't want to end this pandemic on a global level as soon as possible. That just really ticks me off to no end. Probably ticks me off more than anything I've ever heard. And it's a lot of people too. You can't just blame one country. My understanding is it's the United States, the EU, the UK, Switzerland, Japan, Norway, Canada, Australia, and Brazil. And I read that we have 1 in 4, 25% of people in rich countries have been vaccinated. Compare that to 1 in 500, 1 in over 500 people in poor countries. So the inequality is gross. It's a lot worse than I expected. I knew it'd be bad, but again, compare 1 in 4 to wealthy countries versus 1 in 500 in poor countries, and we're blocking the rights from them to scale up their own vaccine and distribute it to the people in their countries, which is really fucked up. And I just completely get I just get lost for words when I think of that because it just ticks me off and I hate it and it's fucked up. Anyways, that could throw a wrench in us. That could throw a wrench in wealthy countries getting the pandemic over as quickly as possible as well, because it's on a global scale. You know, it doesn't take a genius to figure stuff out. Even from a selfish perspective, it makes sense to try and end things on a global scale. But given how isolationist the U.S. is, and we're kind of removed from a lot of these countries, I don't think it's going to affect us too much, which is why I don't consider that that much in ending the pandemic here at home. And again, it's simple. I think it's simple. We got to get to 75% for herd immunity. We can do that if we convince people, hey, get the vaccine, you're protected. Most importantly, we go back to normal. We have a strong message there. We're going to get to 75% if we just get our messaging straight, which is something I do not have confidence in the CDC in, unfortunately. But unless things get fucked up, I think it's game, set, match, and I think the pandemic is over in September 2021, 5 months from now.